The first real road course of the 2025 event. Yesterday, of course, we had our wet skid pad and we had the autocross, but today is really going to set the order for the week. See who's competent on track, who could use a little bit more work, and who's really going to be up at the pointy end of the field. There's a lot of variability in the standings right now. We'll go into that a little bit more as we bring you the coverage from this morning, but joining me as always is my co-driver here and partner. There's Scotty, right? Brian Humphreys right behind you. Say hi.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Scotty. How you doing, buddy? Awesome. So you do know this is not Nashville, right?
I now know this is not Nashville. Yes, the banks are in a whole different place.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm just the savant of, or not so bright savant of racing.
A man of many words. So, some of them intelligible. We'll come back. Good luck today, Scotty. So, Brian, why don't we mosey on down to the pointy end of the pit, right?
Yep.
So, as we bring you the coverage, we can talk a little bit about what's going on. So, there's a lot of variability as far as I've seen in the standings this year, or at least in the first couple of events. A lot of people who thought they'd be doing well on the skid pad didn't. A lot of people who thought they'd do better at the autocross didn't. So you've got some of the big cars, the high horsepower, faster stuff that's a couple hundred points behind coming into today. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that was probably the slippiest wet skid pad that we've seen in years. Very, very low numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking first two finishers.
Yep. Rear-wheel drive, high horsepower cars.
Yes.
But as Woody was saying in our interview with him, again, it was the tires, and the Conti Extreme Contact Sports did a great job for him.
Yes, they
Even
did.
in cars that probably shouldn't have.
Yes. And when it came to the autocross, the car that I figured would take top spot did in fact take top spot.
Aren't you just smart?
What's that?
Aren't you just smart?
Well, that car is my secret pick for overall this week, as long as they keep it together.
Yep.
Have no problems. I think they've got a winning combination now.
Brian, of course, talking about that S2000, the Super K, with the Frankenstein all over. So they've got a
turbo K swap.
Yep.
BMW transmission,
Ford
and
Explorer.
a diff out of an Explorer.
Right. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that shouldn't work but do going on there. Very interesting car. But again, we see a whole bunch of Porsches like the one in front of us.
Yeah.
And all-wheel drive.
And the one passing us.
And the one passing us with some very competent drivers, as we spoke about in the interviews, right?
Yep.
And we thought they would have been far higher up, and they just weren't. So let's see how things go for the road course. That's kind of the beauty about the event. Because of all the variability of the different types of events that we have, we can wind up with these kind of upsets. And now the top teams, are the ones that you figure would be a top team, are in a position where they really can't put a foot wrong the rest of the week because they're in such a deficit of points right now.
Yes.
So, it's really, truly going to be an interesting week, I think. And we're only at Sunday, man.
I know.
Sunday.
I thought the E-Ray was supposed to be quiet.
It's super quiet. It's almost like the Prius of Mark John from years past. So, it is here. Let me give him a sound. It's belching, isn't it? And I wasn't aware that Lingenfelter was now working in the hybrid category. Pretty neat. Brock taking some photos of his own. I love how he still turns his phone sideways no matter what it is. At least we've taught him that over the years.
Yep.
That's a good thing.
Well, I think he just got used to having to turn the phone sideways for the
everything
website.
else. Right. Shake and bake, Steven.
Morning, everybody. How you doing?
Oh, I know what you want. You want a little autograph?
No.
You want?
I do have a better shirt than
Does it? Nice. All right, so going out first is going to be Nick Gulata, and today's running order at the first half is going to be determined largely by the numbers. So we've got 1, 2, 3 here, as they are on the one-lap page for the entries right now. After this event, then we're going to sort things out based off of how fast they actually ran and finished here today. So this is probably going to be the last time you're going to see this order throughout the week. So I know they're going to want to try and stay up front, as are everybody here, but things can change, things happen.
So somebody asking about the temperature this morning, so we'll...
It's a little chilly.
It's currently 52 degrees this morning in
It's windy.
East St. Louis. About a 10 to 15 mile an hour wind. But we do have the sun burning through the clouds, so hopefully that will keep us warm-ish.
So, yep, I got a few layers on today.
Yep. So it's like we're just a couple of minutes away from rolling off first cars.
Dan's about to give the go-ahead, or Dan checking everybody. Tight little turn there, coming off of the straight right before the banking. Sounding pretty good.
Chris Mayfield down and away.
Yep. Very aggressive starts from all.
Yep.
Well, actually, the E-Ray not as much, but it's pretty decent.
Well, the interesting thing is, since they're not seeing it on their side-in lap,
Yeah.
how quickly
They're going to come
they've
off.
got to get on
Yep.
the binders and through this first corner, transitioning from the oval down to the infield road course.
That's a good point. You know, finding a braking zone is going to be a trick. So why don't we move up a little bit so we can actually watch some of the action?
Well, if we have any action, it's all going to be right here.
Well, yes. See,
So
Nick
the Goodyear
Gulata
Porsche is
doing
all
a little
ready.
bit of a weaving on track there to
Yep.
clean off his tires. Not going to be much in the way of heat, but we'll clean it up. All right, let's build the excitement. If you're around today, you're going to watch the Miami Grand Prix, have a great time, but this is more exciting.
And you're not going to hear a Dutch kid crying.
That's Ryan, did you turn Dutch?
No,
Oh, okay.
and I'm no longer a kid.
Oh. And as you talked about the lovely sun, we just have now a whole bunch of cloud cover moving in, so
Damn it, Bobby.
it's getting colder. I'm glad I bundled up the heavier jacket. If you need to go and do that, Brian, go ahead.
No,
Nick
I'm
Gulata
good.
taking the green, hustling away, and the 911 Turbo S picking his braking point now for turn 1. Folding it through, gets on the brakes, makes it safely through, gets it done. Next up, we have that quiet Team PGR Tesla. Here it comes. Gets on the brakes, gets it slowed down. That is a lot of weight. Car's amazing. Here's that quiet E-Ray. Some great noise echoing off the wall. Hear the throttle slowing down, and there we go. Through turn 1 safely, as we have Chris Mayfield coming up in that 918. Gets it done, nice and smooth. Chris, I mean, it's just been great to watch his driving develop over the years. He gets faster and smoother every time we see him. Nicely done.
He gets a little better every iteration of car he
It's
comes
true,
to the
it's
event
true.
with.
You know, and I shudder to think what's going to happen now that he's got a car that looks like it's going to hold together without any issue. Right?
It's true.
That's going to be great. Good morning, Brock. you like to say hello to people?
No. Why would I want to say hello to
Whoa, Nick Galata getting wide, going into the grass. Goes off, takes the wide corner. We should have a yellow right now because we got Nick going the wrong way for a second, turning around and coming back on track. That was a code brown for Nick, both on the paint and in his pants, as we have the E-Ray coming down now. That lovely, quiet E-Ray going through turn 1 without issue. And wow, Chris Mayfield absolutely closing the gap there by about 2 seconds. He's hustling really well. Again, nice and smooth, making the difference.
And just like I said,
Yep.
where the trouble spot was going to be on this course
That's
is the
exactly
transition.
right. Well, you come over in chaos ensues, Brock. How's your pants right about now?
This is why I hate this event.
So come join us next year.
Everybody should be on bicycles these days. Jesus Christ, these cars are too fast. God, that was pretty impressive, though. Yeah, I bet Nick puckered up pretty good on that one. Just to miss that tire wall.
Here we go. We got the Team PGR coming through. Wow, he's braking really late there, but that car holding it together. Nick Galata again. He's going to try and brake a little earlier, I would think. Gets in, gets it done, finds his braking point, and he is away safely. And then we've got that E-Ray. He's closing, but Mayfield on the same straight now, closing that up. He may catch him by the end of this next lap, doing an amazing job of driving here today.
Chris has eaten up probably 8 seconds
Oh, absolutely.
out of that gap.
I mean, he's doing a stellar job. And, you know, we talk about upsets and right off the bat, I mean, you know, you see one of the favorites and the returning champion putting a foot wrong, and this is exactly what we spoke about. You can't afford that right now because it's going to absolutely impact your overall standings being further down in the field. So coming around to take the checkered flag, that Team PGR doing a great job. I didn't like that either. I didn't like it either, to be quite frank. Still turning the wrong direction on an active track.
Just like if you're on the racetrack and you spin out, you get back on.
That's
But
wrong.
we don't have a flag or anything. I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't matter, but
There's a wall of tire
not
packs
ideal.
there. They'll have to reenter at 1. That tracks, yep.
Mayfield closed that down to about 3 seconds difference.
Last car.
Great
White
job
two.
there.
2, white, last on checker.
So yeah, Brian, again, I mean, exactly what you were talking about. That's kind of a tricky part there. That's absolutely impacting the overall now.
Usually the impacts are down.
Well, no, I mean, I don't mean that kind of impact, Brock.
So yeah, back in 2017, we had 2 incidents that day.
18
One,
or 17.
17, Toyota went off there and won and smacked the tire wall, but they were able to fix the car and keep going. And then Dan Schott in the BMW scrubbed the outside wall in 3 and 4. Didn't do any damage to the car, but
No, I think Schott, the only time I know he had won was he touched the mirrors at South Bend Speedway. I believe you.
so the next group is headed out. We've got the Super K, the Cunning Stunts, Brownie in the Supra. I think Derek is driving the morning session in the Corvette for Michelin.
It does look like it. They've got some.
Car Michelin number 7.
Whew. Man, that was quite the first session.
I think I may need to go take some more blood pressure medication.
That could have been a bad day, but you know, again, we have trained drivers out here in a closed environment, right? Professional environment. So, you know, the training has a lot to play with it. You know, big crashes happen from a lot of little mistakes, and fortunately there was just one, you know, picking the braking point in the car, you know, getting a little bit out of sorts and into the grass there. Yeah. Not ideal, but we made it work.
Well, at least at this track, you don't get a sod bill.
Well, he got a cone, so is that 5 seconds?
Might be.
Yeah. We're gonna present him with the Clean Underwear Award at the end of the event. We'll give him a new pair of underwear since he's clearly ruined this one. All right. Well, let's see how this goes here.
We need to get to a place where people can't get easy access.
Good morning, good morning. We got Super K taking off. Wow. Bringing that nice and tight for turn 1, gets it slowed down fine through that transition. That Porsche, man, it just gets up and goes, doesn't it? Making a decent noise. Doesn't even have to hit the brakes until there. That much aero and that much suspension working going on great for him. Now let's see how Brownfield does in the Toyota. Supra. There you go, getting the car settled down. And let's see how Michelin does. Now, I'm noticing a little bit less of an attack from this group. From everybody outside of Super K. They're kind of easing into that first corner in that transition, whereas our first run group was truly in full send mode.
Well, Super K only weighs like 37 pounds, and 35 pounds of that's Andy.
But the Corvette doesn't. You know, that's considerably heavier. That Porsche, while heavier, has a lot of aero. But as we say, Super K, they come back around. Woo! There you go. Getting it done nicely. And I mean, that's what I'm talking about. You see the gap now that's existing between here and the Porsche. And Super K truly on the attack. Porsche not doing bad, making up some straight line speed, but let's see, braking zone far earlier in the transmission, but driving that car well, keeping it within. And we've always said, you know, truly it is an 8/10 event. Some try and ratchet that up a little bit more and getting a little more confidence there into turn 1 from Andrew.
Yep, Brownie pulling a little bit.
Yep.
On
the Michelin
gap,
car. Yep.
On the Michelin car, and taking some out of the Porsche.
Yep, absolutely. Smooth, easy line there, but again, remember, they are on all sports, so that's sort of the compromise they had to make with this, right? Maybe not be as aggressive, but, you know, make it through the weekend.
So if I have to go on the track, I might need someone to jump in.
Here we go, Super K coming around. Let's see what the gap is. Whoa! Sparking away and showing us a good time. A little wiggle waggle under braking, but really pulling that gap on the Porsche now as he comes around. And let's see then where where Andrew is. He should be coming around pretty soon. There he is. So we're both on the front straight. He's closed up 3-4 seconds now. So Brownfield hustling that car really well. Little wiggle under braking, gets it done, straightens it out. Brock having a little bit of a heart attack next to me as this is going on.
I need more drugs.
Yep, so, you know, Michelin playing around with those all sports this year, these all seasons this year. They're gamble, you know, on a dry day like today with that kind of competition, not paying off quite as much. But, you know, again, if it rains like tomorrow, it looks like we might have a little bit. We'll see.
It's cool enough that the all seasons might be better than the others.
They might be in the first lap, but as they heat up, these are going to definitely be better. Yep. So taking the checkered flag now is that Porsche.
And look at Brownie.
Brownfield right on him. That lap he closed up significantly. Must have had a little bit of a bobble, but Andrew really wheeling it around, and I think the only one we are waiting for now is the Corvette, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And he is coming through turn 4 now. There he is.
There's the checker. So again, you know, if it keeps up this pace, we might see him drop down a run group, because truly the pace with those all seasons isn't quite there. Now, if it were raining, if, you know, again, it's like we talked about with Woody, right? With tie rack.
Yep.
So many different variables that we can play with here, and that just, it's not working for them right now. But that is part of the event.
So some of our viewers are watching the live timing and said that Super K ran a 102.
Yeah.
So 4 seconds.
Faster than
Super K
top of the board for now. Yeah, well, I can believe it.
I don't think that's going to change.
No, I don't think so either, because he was smooth, he was drama free, and he got it around, and that's, you know, smooth is fast.
Yep.
So we've got that first
DJ
Supernova
away in the Supra. Then we got Scotty.
Followed by, you've got Rob Bowen with the parts farm, who no longer has the parts farm on the front because that blew up yesterday.
And now Tim White in the
Z06.
Penguin Garage.
Z06, as they say overseas.
Yep.
So now we're getting into more of the drivers who are decent behind the wheel. I mean, really good drivers behind the wheel, but not the same every weekend at a racetrack doing development kind of drivers here. So this is where, well, except for Randy, I mean, we got Randy coming up, but, you know, again, it's an unknown for him. He just hopped in that beautiful Roush Stage 3,
Yes.
you know, yesterday for the first time.
Right.
So, I mean, definitely not a familiarity with the vehicle, but I think the point that I'm driving at is now that you're getting into the next set of drivers, what's going to be amazing is that you're still going to have to see the same commitment going into turn one.
Yep.
You're still going to have to see the same commitment all around the track, because at the end of the day, they're all fighting for positions too. So come on out and join us in the future. There's a smattering. You're going to be driving against pros and regular Joes alike, and you're all going to have the same challenge.
So far today, Chris Vanderwalk chiming in with the line of the day, saying it's not called average K.
That's well done, Chris Vanderwalk, of course, our counsel, who's, what, are you still in France, man? What are you doing? Where in the world are you?
So 311 for Super K over 3 laps. Brownie was a 313, and PGR in third at a 316.
Okay. So all that drama in the morning for naught.
So let's see if these guys saw the calamity of
Here we go. Out of the way.
the
with
Goodyear
Super.
Porsche.
Yep.
Now we got DJ.
Morning, brother.
Pre-event, DJ probably ran about 12,000 sim laps here.
Todd Thompson joining us. Good morning, Todd. How you doing?
Good. How are you this morning?
We're doing well. We're checking out some of the action here at turn one and watching everybody try and find the breaking points and hopefully walking away with some clean underwear at the end.
Yeah, I understand. I missed somebody that didn't make the first turn.
Yeah, you can see his tracks going right through the mud there, right next to the tires. That was a little close.
Not good, huh?
Nope.
Too early in the day for that.
Early in the day for that, and the week, right?
Yeah, you bet. Yeah. We're here to have fun and enjoy ourselves. Got to leave a little on the table, you know, just to play it safe.
Absolutely. Well, how's your week going so
Boosted, I
far,
don't know.
Todd? It's only Sunday. It hasn't started yet,
It could
right?
have been
Yeah,
Peter. It
and,
did
you know,
not
the first
look
two
like
events
Peter
weren't our,
in the car when he
forte,
went away.
So this is more what we do. So
There we go.
we're expecting a good day.
And Mark behind the wheel, clearly. So
Well, here he comes.
You got to go
finishing
cheer him on?
his, first
Oh
of
yeah,
3 laps.
I was going to get behind the wheel. I'm an okay driver. He's a better driver, and today sets the field for the week. So it was kind of a better decision. Let the boy have at it.
Lovely. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Todd. We're going to go back to calling the action, brother.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
Take care. All righty, here's Scotty. Using those brakes up. Woo! Golly, these guys are quick. Rob Bowen.
So Boosted Films is checking in, saying that he thinks that is Peter Lear behind the wheel of the Supra this morning, and not DJ.
Okay. Well, if you can confirm it, we still don't care. But either way, they're doing a good job driving.
So far. And Chris says he's in lovely, cloudy Lavallette, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Little wiggle waggle as the Super gets itself slowed down and manages that weight.
It looks like he's pulled a bit of a gap.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, Scotty can make a little bit of dividend out here. That Porsche can hustle down the front. Let's see where he breaks. Woo! Tires using up everything there. Scotty getting those 4S's to talk to him. Let's see if they make it to the end of the week, if he's going to lean on him that hard. Rob Bowen closing it down a bit on Scotty, though. Picking his braking point. Okay.
A lot smoother braking,
A lot smoother braking. Yep,
transition, but
absolutely.
Tim White,
Yeah, he's closing, isn't he? That Corvette on the attack. Nicely driven.
Brian Valente checking in.
Hey, Brian. Brian, of course, former media sponsor, couldn't be with us this year as he's down in Miami at the Miami Grand Prix. Brian Valente with the Valente Group. Lovely to see you, buddy. He decided to go watch cars with no fenders this weekend.
Yeah. I think I'm going to unfriend him. He doesn't have his priorities straight.
Taking the checker flag is Scotty now. And let's see where Rob is. He may have pulled on Rob a little bit because they are not the same distance, which means that Rob may have fallen into the clutches a little bit of that Corvette. Let's see where the Corvette is. Yep, Rob losing a little bit on lap 3. The Corvette closing up though. So that run group taking their checker flag. And as we get ready for the next run group and turn our attention, we've got, again, that Roush Stage 3 driven by Randy Pobst. Randy Mother effing Pobst, you might recall from the interviews. And then we've got Mark Thompson, followed by our Roto-Rooter. And then who's in the Porsche?
I don't remember.
A person.
I don't remember.
Let's get a little bit of noise here as Randy takes off. Let's show you what that sounds like.
Tim Miller, please look on the entry list and tell us who's in.
Let's get some good noise.
16.
We're just waiting for the green light from Dan here.
Yes, Tim, 16. Please.
Here we go. This is pit lane.
Expecting here. I hear a lot of whooshing noises from this Roto-Rooter. And a burp to you.
Is that a burp?
Bridgestone decals not holding on nearly as well as their tires again this year. Except for when we have to take them off. So
Hey, look at there, a Fiero with an air scoop on the roof.
Yeah.
Woo!
I wonder if that's in lieu of air conditioning. They just pipe it into the cabin because it doesn't work anymore.
Possibly.
It's a Fiero, no. All right, well, a little bit of a lull while the cars make their way to start finish to line up. I see Randy Pobst lining up with Mark right behind him.
And Chris
followed by
Brierly.
Roto-Rooter and our Porsche. So we've got our full run group on the front straight, ready to take off.
Thank you, Boosted. The 16 car is the Flat 4 Funny Noises.
I'm going to go in and just change team names to stuff that we know.
Yeah.
All right,
Both
Randy.
drivers out of Orlando. Here comes Randy.
Randy taking off. Car making some good noises, but I want to listen into the GT500. It's got a soft spot in my heart.
Anybody's paying attention?
Getting it slowed down in time. Speaking of funny noises.
It's like it was snoring.
I know. That's a very apt description.
I think maybe after this run group, we'll probably go to 5 cars.
I think so.
If not, within the next couple of run groups.
Yeah. Randy coming around, finishing off his first lap, finding his braking point. Getting it slowed down and through the corner.
Well, I think he probably knows the adhesion of every consumer tire on the face of the planet.
Randy Pobst, of course, a consummate tire tester, car poobah vehicle tester. Been around for a billion years. I think he test drove the Brontosaurus back in the day. Somebody's brakes are really getting used there. My guess is that was the GT500 from the smell of it.
Yep.
Although I am smelling some Corvette brake as well there, so definitely leaning on them a lot. Getting the car slowed down on this long front straight. Randy coming around for his third. Going a little quicker this time, getting a little bit more brave. Not as much brake going into the transition, but absolutely getting it turned for turn 1. Good job. And that gap is building to the GT500. In fact, it's expanding quite a bit now.
We'll be back with you after these commercial messages.
Yeah, we are falling into the clutches now of that Corvette. We have it passed. It looks like effectuating on track. Nicely done, nice and respectful from both drivers. Thank you very much. But all this is allowing that portion to close up. So again, as we spoke about, now we're finding out who's doing what on track, and we're kind of seeing who's got a little more attack in them, right?
I didn't see any mud or anything on the Shelby to indicate that he may have dipped a wheel.
I think it's just a matter of, look, it's a great car to drive. It's very, very compliant, but it's still 760 horsepower.
This is true.
So even and he's running on 4S's.
Yep.
Randy taking his checkered flag, getting it slowed down. Nicely done. Again, 760 horsepower rear wheel drive on 4S's. You're gonna tiptoe a few places, especially a track that you're not familiar with. So, he's got to make it to the end.
Yes.
So there is that mixture of prudence and performance that you have to have. Definitely smelling the brakes.
On the Roush.
Yep. Corvette coming through, and that GT500 now using up the brakes. And another run group safely through. Well, look who we have. It's Andrew Brownfield. He was in that lovely blue Toyota who was catching up to some cars this morning, so nicely done, Andrew.
Thank you. Yeah, I haven't been here since, we were here in 2017,
Yep.
maybe, and I was in a 200 horsepower car, so it was night and day different, but the setup we're kind of guessing at it, and it was really spot on.
So as the laps progressed here, we noticed your braking point get a little bit deeper and a little more of a wiggle as you got the car settled there. How far up were you pushing it as the laps went on?
I think even after I crossed the finish line, I probably pushed it the hardest. So I definitely, if you look at the lap time, I was definitely pushing each braking zone a little bit harder each time, and especially right here in 1, I felt really good. Like the transition really wasn't upsetting the car, so I just kept getting a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper.
Well, you're finding out where your braking point is going to be for the second session, and clearly doesn't look like sun's going to factor into anything today, and track heating up. So
sorry, that's our car.
The rude cars you guys have, man. But no, that was a heck of a performance this morning, man. Great job. That was pretty awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, always fun watching you.
Thank you.
Andrew Brownfield, of course. Team Toyota. Alrighty. Hi, Brock. Has your heart rate returned to normal yet, as the cars seem to be doing a little bit cleaner?
As the speeds amp down a couple of notches, doesn't mean that stupid isn't going to happen. It just means that it's...
What happened is quickly.
Red, thank you.
2 off.
2 off. Oh, okay. These are hard to hear. But, no, I mean, it's... the fast cars are they're really fast, and they scare me to death. And as we get down to the lesser brave people, or maybe it's just not whatever it is.
Those that are more prudent than performance based.
Exactly.
Yes. It's a nice way of saying it.
People that may understand the difference between their skills and the car. I don't know.
But those first 2 groups were on the attack, and they were pushing pretty good.
Jesus God, yes, they were fast. And I forget just how fast these cars are until the first day, and I just want to run and hide.
And it's not just the cars. I mean, this truly is a showcase of exactly the performance that you can get out of a street set of tires.
Well, a street set of tires and a street set of car. Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, you don't need a grand license to buy one of these things. You show up and buy yourself a 600 horsepower Porsche and go racing. Sure. Oh no, but the tire technology over time is just amazing. It's the difference. I mean, just the reliability and the durability of these tires for long periods. This is pretty hard on a set of tires.
I want to go look at Scott's tires afterwards, because you heard him talking the whole way through the transition. So we might wind up with a Pittsburgh before we get to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. They'll be fine, one way or the other.
What did you tell him last year? Take him off, turn him around, and throw him back on?
Oh, God, I don't know. Just take me home. Let me go. Can I go hide for a little while? I don't think anybody really understands how much anxiety is tied up in this fucker. I like everybody. I like everybody to have fun. It's like watching your kid get in the first go-kart and you're saying, you're doing what?
That's over there.
Yeah, no, I remember when my first real car sponsored ride, I called my father and I said, I'm going racing. And he says, long pause, where are you racing? I said, the La Carrera Pan America in Mexico. And he says, really long pause. And I said, what are you driving? And he said, 54 Lincoln Capri stock. Yeah, that was a pause that continues. That was really fucking stupid.
And yet we're here.
Yeah, so yeah, somehow I cheated death and made it here, and we all have so far. So hopefully that continues. But all right, go away.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, Brock. I'm actually going to grab the mic really quick. This way we can do that better. Oh.
Oh, there's Steve Loudon beginning his 3rd lap as the first of the Smoko Corvette starting to catch up with him there. think this was the start of the third. Here comes the on the ledge racing Camaro.
Control the start finish. Control there. Steve White over Post 17 red.
Who's running the funny brake pads?
There goes Shree in the 8.6, but getting his third.
Huh?
No, the last couple of run groups have been really heavy coming in here on the brakes.
Yeah, but in the old days, we were Watkins Glen and we'd walk out and I'd love the smell of brake pads in the morning. And you know, since the new pads don't make that smells.
So the Smoko Corvette got around Steve Loudon and his Viper.
Yeah.
But Steve's just out here for fun. He's already proved, hire a driver, win the event twice, and then you can have fun.
Yeah, she was pretty good with a non-hire driver. I believe he was a Vipers Series champion.
He was.
He's got racetracks get cold, they get hot, they get cold, they get hot.
Starter 2 control last. 19 white. Subaru last on checker. Copy that. What's the Dan? Go ahead. I think we can move it up to 5 if Parker's okay with it.
Start, that's your call. I just wanted a little prudence at the beginning.
If you guys want to do 5, just let us know.
So we got Mr. Speed Secrets himself, Ross Bentley, going out in the BF Goodrich Type R.
Second round about to go up. 23 and 24 switch positions.
So we got the next group coming up to stage at start finish. Everybody on their side in lap. Here's the Forsyth Supra. got Ross Bentley in the BF Goodrich entry.
All right, Brian. So what I miss?
Cars.
Cars. There we go.
So we've got in the BF Goodrich Type R, we've got Ross Bentley taking his first laps of the event.
Well, why don't we go say hi?
No, that's not Ross.
Never
He's
mind.
on track. That's
See, I
Chad.
asked what I missed.
That's Chad, and that's Justin. There goes Ross.
There we go.
You know, you should go ask Justin why Nick Amato decided to go somewhere else and not come play with us this year.
So, what's the matter with the motto?
What the matter with the motto is we're a volunteer team. We're all daytime employees at Honda, and he had a business trip pop up. So unfortunately, this always takes the second seat to what we have to do for work. So he's headed over to Japan. So be over there for 10 days and hopefully be back next year.
It is. We look forward to making fun of him every year.
Yeah, me too. It's a favorite pastime. But nevertheless, 2023 Dream Team's back. So
There you go.
we'll take it.
Very nice. So, where are you expected to wind up this year? I mean, you're on the Potenzas.
Yeah, they treated us really well last year. Bridgestone's been gracious enough to help us out this year, so we're happy to be representing them again. I think top 25 would be great. I think we ended up 26th last year, so with some of these parts that we've added to it, hopefully we can get a little bit better this year.
I mean, the graphics have got to be good for at least, 2 or 3 places.
Yeah, at least 5 horsepower as well, so should see that in the straight lines.
Nice. Well, looking forward to watching that pretty soon.
Thanks.
So I think the field is beginning their third lap.
Okay.
I just saw Mr. Bentley sneak out behind us. And then I think this is the last car in this group, followed by the first car in the group.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Here comes the Forsyth Supra.
Yep. Always looking ahead. Monique walking around, so clearly she's not driving.
Yep.
I think next group we are going to more cars,
Yes.
so that should be fun.
So here comes Ross. Ed Gliss is saying to himself, I could have gone faster.
Got to prove it.
So next group looks like we've got the first of the Cardinal Conclave.
Yep, we do. We've got Scott behind the wheel. I know this because Becky's there.
Yep.
And Rob is over there. Rob Fields, of course, the creator of these. We should go talk to him. It's like kind of watching your kid on track, like Brock was saying, right?
Yeah, let's go over and talk to him because I can go get my jacket while you talk to him.
And it's nice because I brought the car.
I saw that.
So you're welcome. I had the foresight.
Let's molest some Kentucky boys.
Yep. We got Beavis and Butthead there.
Woo.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
We're doing good.
Your car's purple still.
Yeah, it didn't change overnight.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're hoping to actually do the track correctly this time. Yeah.
Well, good luck with that. We'll see. Hello, Rob.
Good morning. How are you?
We're wonderful, thanks. We're just coming to chat with you as you watch one of your children take to the track.
Yeah.
Well, Scott's a little older than me. He's not a child anymore. But
I meant what he's in.
yeah, so that's one of our Cardinal coupes headed out on track right now. He's first up of the 3 that we have in the run order today. Excited to see how he does here at the Roval.
So how does it feel knowing that obviously no business happens overnight, no product comes out overnight, countless hours of toiling to put these cars together, to put the business together. So how does it feel to see not 1, not 2, but 3 of your vehicles out here on track and competing?
Super fulfilling, super exciting, but there's also a lot of pressure. We don't want to let these guys down. They're working just as hard as we are, keeping these cars going and driving them through all kinds of challenging conditions out here over the course of a whole week. So, super thrilling, super fulfilling, a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, don't screw it up and you're fine. There you go. Well, good luck, Rob.
Thanks so much.
All right, I'm going to go let my co-driver get his jacket because it's getting a little chilly out here. The sun has gone away. And the wind has picked up, so it is definitely getting a little bit chillier out here. And there's Brock again, ambling around with Bridgestone decals in his head.
Because the other ones are failing rapidly.
Well, I mean, the tires are holding on, but the decals aren't.
Whoever used those decals should be just shot. I mean, last year every one of the decals they sent us failed. So at least they gave us another choice.
Well, if you can't go quality, you go quantity. So
somebody's brother-in-law got the contract.
So there we go. There's Brian. He's all warm now. Let's watch him straddle the awkwardly on there.
Getting old sucks.
All right, the Kentucky boys out and away. You can go back and call some of the action, right?
Yeah, speaking of old.
Womp, womp, womp. There's the first of the Cardinal Coupes. Making his way through.
Goes Team Rumspringa.
Rumspringa.
Formerly known as Team Unicorn. I think
he's changed.
I think Eric may be at the wheel this morning.
I think he is because I saw him as I was skedaddling to get our vehicle. And there's that on entry.
Chad Gilsinger at the wheel this morning because Justin is behind us. And what's the matter with you is in Japan?
I'll tell you what, I'll bet he's eating better than we are right now. I mean, we've had some okay steak, but I could go for some good sushi, honestly.
Wicker Park,
Wicker
O'Hare,
Park. That's
Terminal
right.
2.
On the way home.
And folks, if you ever find yourself in O'Hare, venture over to Terminal 2 and try out Wicker Park Sushi.
Very good.
And get the tuna tartare.
Yep. But what I noticed is that Cardinal Coupe was severely closing up on the Kentucky boys, and there's that big gap now to Rumspringa. So, big difference going on there. Are we running 5 this group?
And impeded the Cardinal that's behind him.
Oh, that would be the. So it looks like the Kentucky boys did not do so well. They went off track. They came on course and impeded the Cardinal.
Ouch.
Is what we're being told. So, yeah. That would explain that gap. And here we go again. The Kentucky boys drag racing the Cardinal Coupe. This is not going to bode well for them because that Cardinal Coupe closing up on them in the corners, diving through the inside, lets him through. There's that pass effectuated. Rob Fields walking around like, yep, that's my car, just passed a Corvette. It may have been purple, but I passed it. I'm the purple people passer. Eric Schiemer
Yep.
Getting along just fine?
Yep.
Well, I see Ben right there, so. Keeping the gap consistent to the Honda team. Hear the Corvette accelerating away as they come up. I guess this is their checkered, I would imagine, this lap now.
Yes, it is.
Yep, checkered flag for the Cardinal Coupe. Doing well. Nicely done. Rob Fields very happy. Oh, that splitter is taken into the shitter. That is not going to last very long on that car.
Well, maybe had some splitter damage when they went off.
They may have. But it wasn't like that around the last time, so I'm wondering if it weakened it and then the air, the flow on there kind of pushed it down a little bit. I mean, I've had experience with that happening. So
yes, you have.
I've been splitterless before. But yep. So the Kentucky boys, again, we talk about stuff happening and, pushing a little bit more than maybe you should. And here's a case with that. So they put a foot wrong, and their hope of trying to get through here unscathed through the first track event has been dashed.
Yes.
So we'll have to see what they do to fix that. I mean, more cosmetic than anything else it looks like, but still, that pretty purple car is going to have some zip ties on it in the near future, I think. Maybe a few bolts. We'll see.
But what's one lap without zip ties?
This is true. We'll head to Home Depot or local hardware store and try and, they can do it, we can help.
Oh, we're in Menards country. Save more money at Menards.
We're a little Menarded this morning.
Yes, we are.
Apparently I was part of a wedding last night because my room was just underneath of the ballroom, and congratulations to the bride and groom, but y'all were rambunctious till like
You're not going to let me live this down, are you?
I'm not. You booked me to a wedding that I didn't even know about. I didn't have my good black tie thong with me. And here, just coming into frame, is Brian Shaw. Brian is the guy who actually put together that awesome recap of tech and registration. He's working on one for yesterday that will release a little bit later today. How's it going, Brian?
It's going very well. It's definitely a cool experience for the first time ever being here, so I'm excited.
You haven't started crying yet, but there have been some times where you've looked tired, but we're into the full day one here. Are you settling in a little bit?
Yeah, definitely getting the groove and, regaining some sleep. But other than that, yeah, feeling good.
And if anybody else wants to bring you out to the track to get some footage like this and to get some work done, where can they find you? How can they contact you?
I'm on Facebook, any kind of social media. You can look up Brian Shaw Photography. I'm on SmugMug, but LinkedIn as well. So any of those things, just look up my name, Brian Shaw, and you'll find me.
That's Brian, Brian. He spells it the wrong way, Shaud, Shaud. So absolutely go check him out. He's doing a great job for us.
And he spells photography Photogrphi.
That I do not.
We said it, it's true. So, it must be. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Right. And now you know why those t-shirts get made.
A Crushing Trucker.
Actually, I am wearing that today. I should have referenced that before.
Oh yeah, let's,
we've got our Crashing Tractors racing shirts out here. So that's. And you know what? There we go. Out and away. This would be a good time to kind of talk about our media sponsor this year, HP Tuners. Let's give them a little bit of love while we have a little bit of a lull in the action here as cars just take off for their first laps. So HP Tuners, what do they do? What are they, right? Well, it's kind of in the name. They're going to tune your vehicle. And it's not just tuning. It's not just ways to optimize the power that your car can make. They also have a lot of diagnostics in real time, which are super helpful. So you could be in your car, you could be collecting data, and when you finish, you could really find out why your car was or was not doing what you expected it to do. And the other thing that we talk about a lot is, obviously performance, but everybody kind of tows their vehicles to the track, right? Except for us during this week, but a lot of people towed them to South Bend. Optimize the performance of your tow rig. You got a pickup truck, you've got something that you're hauling with. You know, you're going to want better mileage. You're going to want less time between stops, or more time between stops, excuse me. You get less time if you get older and your bladder's smaller, right? But you're going to want to have some longer distances between stops so you can get there. And absolutely, check out HP Tuners. So go on, see what they can do for your vehicle. Show them some love because they've certainly showed us a whole lot of love this year.
And speaking of which, I just saw the HP Tuner Supra slot into line.
Yep.
They're like about 3 run groups away.
And we'll catch up with Adam as they get closer, if he is driving indeed. But, yep. Adam Spence, of course, our buddy from HP Tuners, longtime friend. And, yeah, happy to have him here and super grateful for their support. Well, there's the second Cardinal Coupe. Getting around just fine. Not quite putting the hurt on the car in front of him like the first one did, but getting through. And, you know, as we've seen here, a couple of cars already have some missteps. It's very important to just make it through. JD Cruel, of course, affiliated with Garmin. So I think one of their first employees. So yeah, Brian, he is old, and you know, Garmin, of course, our they've given us another partnership this year where they're providing the Catalyst units and the watches for the winning overall winners here.
Yeah, when JD went to work for Garmin, they were still the trendsetters in hourglass technology.
Yeah, they had a countdown for flip over now.
If you all remember being sick as a kid and you're at your grandma's and she watched Days of Our Lives, that is one of the original Garmin hourglasses in the the introduction to Days of Our Lives.
But not for nothing, you know, closing down pretty good.
Well, that was Scott.
Well, yes, yes.
Here comes JD.
Woo! Last lap.
I think we're just waiting on the Cardinal.
Cardinal, here we go.
And here he comes.
Coming around to take his checkered flag. Cooling down, coasting through.
Yeah, it's a very interesting car, but I do not think I could survive a week in that.
No.
I think we've been spoiled with luxury and comfort,
you know,
in our number of one-lap rides over the years.
Once you pass 10 years, you have the right to do whatever. Once you pass 20 years, you're really looking for comfort. That's Brian Shaw. He's going to go.
Are we getting
Carjacked?
repoed?
No. He's going to go and try and find some different locations to shoot from. Does he know he can just go left?
No, he can't go left.
If he were brave, he could, because then he'd just wind up in the parking lot there. Crunch into the porta potty.
So Hyundai, it's not me driving, and it's not Solomon driving. Here, proof of life. Woo!
And we are clear to start sending them out, it seems. Dan Neal giving the go-ahead to the first-timers here.
We got the Boss 302, and now we got the Iowa Z06 of Ryan and Pat Whalen.
You know, it's sort of, I can commiserate with how this gentleman's feeling as he's taken to the track. Clearly doesn't really know where he's going right now. Going out very slowly, but it's smart, it's prudent, right?
Yep.
And I remember my first time, and you don't want to put a foot wrong. You really don't want to screw stuff up. So you're being overly cautious, and that's what we're seeing a few cars here do, and it's perfectly acceptable. It is a really cool feeling, though, you know, taking to the track for the first time with an event like this. There's our winner for the wet skid pad right there.
Yep.
But it is a great feeling and a cool experience, one that you don't forget.
Yep. So if any of our competitors are watching that may not be on the Discord, Jake Sanders, Adam Spence's co-driver, somebody grabbed his
helmet bag
yesterday at Grissom.
Yep.
And he's just putting out another
plea.
Yes. To please return it. It's a
Schubert.
Black and orange Schubert helmet bag.
Yep.
I believe his gloves were in it.
Yep.
And his sunglasses.
Yep.
And he would very much appreciate the return of said items.
And as it was related to me, it was an older gentleman who had picked up the bag as he was walking down in between the cars. So the bag was as we were staging to go out to for the autocross. And I don't know if the gentleman moved it because he thought it was in the way or not, but if you have it, bring it back. Because we have a particular set of skills, and we will find you.
Brian Huber just checking in on one of the other social media platforms, saying that his lovely wife Kim has all the meats and cheese for us.
But he says for NCM tomorrow. We're not at NCM tomorrow.
I know.
Ryan, we're not at NCM tomorrow. We're at Head Shallow.
Boss 302 tiptoeing through turn one.
It's okay.
For
Got a
his
long
first
week
lap.
to go.
Yep.
Got a long week to go. And now this is more, they're in for the competition amongst themselves at this point.
Ryan Whalen and his father's Z06.
Yeah. And we all know about, you know, fathers and sons in cars.
Yep.
You shouldn't crash Dad's car. Jack Beecham.
Wow.
I crashed my Porsche.
I would say too soon, but I've already made the joke.
Many times. It's been more than 10 years, so I think the moratorium on it has more than passed, right? Whoa! I crashed that Porsche.
Who wants a mustache ride? There goes James Hodges in the killer whale.
I don't think Brock has seen our shirts.
I don't know.
I don't think. So I don't think we've shown you our shirts yet for you like this. So this is our Parts Farm guys. Crash Tractors Racing. See, we got a giggle from him.
That's almost friends of mine used to call me and say, I see your father on television. What are you watching? Mug bog racing.
What are you watching, America's Most Wanted?
It was TNN, and he and Steve Evans would be broadcasting these stupid tractors in 8 feet of mud, saying, "Oh yeah, how bored are you? You need to watch that."
I mean, I recall watching really silly stuff on Speed Vision back in the day when that had, you know, sort of like, I don't know, European mini racing from like 3 o'clock in the morning until 4:30 and random courses.
Great filler stuff. I mean, it's stuff that you'd never ever see and never knew you needed to.
And now we have the internets where you can find Scott Kors on YouTube with the one-lap stuff.
Oh, really? Is that where you go? Okay. It's all posted by you, too, which is terrifying.
You notice.
Watching curling.
And of course, you can find Scott on Only Feet.
On Only Feet?
Yeah.
Is that some sort of a kink thing that I don't know about?
Did you say only
I don't
feet
think that
or
exists.
oldie feet?
Only Feet?
What's that?
You say oldie feet or only feet?
Only moldy feet? Excuse me.
Moldy feet.
Moldy feet.
Moldy feet.
Moldy feet. Well, that does happen on one lap, especially when it rains.
Well, Brock's wearing shoes, so we're good this year.
Yeah.
It's too cold.
Actually, when you wear shoes, that's when the moisture builds up and the mold develops.
Yes.
When you're barefoot,
yeah.
not only do you scuff the mold off.
Exfoliating racetracks everywhere. Brought to you by...
On that pleasant note.
So, Scott, actually, we did want to catch up with you. We heard those tires talking quite a bit on the transition here.
Yeah, I was having fun with that. I told Brock you guys need to do a drifting event because I was at about a 10-degree angle around most of the track, which isn't the most fast or the fastest. But,
so, you don't always have to get to Pittsburgh with no tires. That's not how it's supposed to go.
That is
If you
also
want to do
true.
the drifting, go through the tires there, turn right, go around there.
On
That's the
that
drift
side.
track.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the drift track. Okay. Yeah, I gotta dial it back. The car is, I'm so tempted to overdrive that car, and it's so confidence inspiring that I try to overdrive it, and it doesn't do anything but go slower when I try to overdrive it.
But that's most of the time.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. So
Little brakes are coming on. Say good luck.
I gotta. So I gotta work on that.
Okay. Well, it was fun to watch.
I try to provide an entertaining experience. For my one fan, my father-in-law is my only fan.
Well, you can tell him where to find you out here, and he can watch you in the
Right
morning.
here. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Shout out to Lynn Hurt.
There you go.
My wife used to use this as proof of life.
I remember.
Proof of life. Yeah, he's still alive.
Every morning Cindy would pop on and be like, oh, good, he's still there. And then she would hang out for a little bit, and then she'd be like, all right, I'm doing something more interesting now.
Anything's more interesting.
Anybody that's watching this has to be extremely bored too. I mean,
Or they've done this before. I think at this point they're just messing with us now. I think it's just...
If he does it again, I'm going to go steal a plug wire.
Blue, do it.
Last dot checker. That blue is last dot checker.
Oh, that's hot garbage. I love the plates. We have so many one-lap plates now. I'm glad I finally got one. We have to get a picture of all the one-lap plates.
They're the ones that won the wet skid pad. Yep.
What?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's Sun.
And the number 40.
Sun.
Son?
Solomon, turn around.
What? Oh my goodness! Let me check. Let's see. All right, that's not brown back there, but how you doing, Nick?
Not great, not great. Yeah, well, you know.
Rerun, or are you here to complain?
No, I'm not here to complain. I'm going to take. I'm a little surprised though. We ran that brake package at pit race. It was fine on lap one, but it was chirping the rear tire, and I got a stiff pedal, so I just bailed out of it, which cost us a ton of time. But it is what it is.
You didn't hit anything.
Yeah, I don't think it was full ice mode. I mean, that's an aftermarket brake package, a good brake package, and we had been running it.
Do you have ice mode in Porsches?
I don't know if you call it that, but it was just a front pedal. But Josh said it looked like he was chirping the rear tire. Josh said it looked like he was chirping the rear tire some. But yeah, the car just would not slow down, and I don't feel like it was that deep. And I haven't been here, arguably, but that's not normal.
No, you came in the first lap just fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, no.
Smoking through there, but yeah, it was.
It was.
You're
yeah,
alive.
yeah, sure.
Well, that's weird. It does have wet mode. Does yours have wet mode?
So do his pants right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean,
No,
I
but
feel
like
like
the car knows when you're driving on
does.
water,
Well,
which is weird, and it tells you to turn on wet, but it doesn't turn on automatically.
I mean, the only ice mode that I know of that really affected cars was, of course, the Cadillac and the C6s.
Oh, yeah, well, that was.
And you would press on the brake, and because the car was feeling the slippage, it would give you like 90% less brake.
That was what happened to.
Which is what you want when you want to stop.
Well, maybe.
It was also Dupler.
I mean, we think it may have happened to Howard.
And Howard, yeah.
But, I mean, Dubler said it didn't happen to him. Howard said he hit the brake. The corner worker said he hit the throttle. That could be good too, yes. So, you know,
Things you'll never hear anywhere
what we've
else.
seen in actual ice mode is a matter of debate.
It's our skid pad winner making some. Now, I don't ever want to hear you complain about Mustangs blowing sound again in my life.
Actually, it's a 103 at NCM. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Oh, God, darn it. No, we just bumped down.
Scott's realizing his overzealous driving maybe wasn't the best style.
Our goal was to stay in top 15, and we just hit 16.
Well, anyways, we'll take our medicine, whatever the run order is. No, I mean, it'll mess the run order up. We'll be buried.
I'm just glad I'm ahead of you.
Mess anything up. You're fine.
Oh, you're not qualifying off of this morning?
We are, but
Yep.
I mean, I know better.
That's fine. You can bury us if you have to. I mean, I feel bad, you know.
No.
It would be worse if you start passing people on track all the time.
Yeah, that would if the third place car passed you without a spin, that'd have been different.
So it's still a good year for you.
Yeah,
No,
sure
don't
is.
move. Don't move.
Hey,
Just don't do it again.
Yeah, well, let's see.
I mean, look, it created some really good TV for us this morning.
I
So
mean, it's,
Oh, did you catch it? Oh, nice.
I would try to diagnose your brake problem.
Yeah, we
Like, look under to make sure there's not a baseball behind the brake pedal.
Do you guys not use the carbon ceramics? No. Oh, my God, they're amazing.
They were. We tried to run a different brake package this year. It's been pretty good. We messed with the compound a little bit, so we split it front to rear.
I
Maybe
learned
it's
with
too
that
much.
GTRS never to mess with brake pads. And those Porsches are just
Did you go to a harder brake pad in the back, or so it doesn't work as well?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we did.
you probably don't have a brake bias in this one.
No. And it wasn't working really at all, so we had to go softer.
The,
Really. It's mostly front. so we're hitting.
Years ago, we raced a Neon at Summit Point with Joe Liparini, who was the national champion. And we kept locking the right rear going into 5. It was downhill, and it was a little off.
What is Joe?
And we...
I don't know if anything's going on. Nothing's coming up with the radio. He just seems to be going fairly slow.
Anyway,
he wasn't under power halfway down.
I wonder if he put gas in it.
Oh, no, maybe not.
What? Anyway,
Maybe you ran out of gas.
we decided that we would soak the rear pads in WD-40, and we were able to go 50 feet deeper into turn 5 without the lockup. So if you want, I can help you.
I'd walk away now, Nick, if I were you, because it's only going to get worse from here out.
Drill big holes in the pads so they work less, too.
I got you. Yeah, we might have to. Yeah, well. Whatever you think. We weren't going to be running top 5 anyways. Those guys were flying. We probably would have been in the top 10 for sure.
I'm going to enjoy my free time ahead of you.
My guess is that you're going to be top 1 or 2 the rest of the day.
Well, let's see. What happened?
39 gray.
Broken.
Copy, yep, the gray Camaro overtook the Mustang. Thank you.
No, the gray Camaro overtook the Mustang. So, yes,
Yeah,
still
but she
going
drilled 1,000 holes in it.
They should probably not shout over the radio unless there's an actual incident. Like, a pass is not worthy of... Like, I see Brock tensing up, like, ready to pounce into the car and be like, son of a...
Give me a hug, man. I was a little worried. I was a little worried.
You're like, oh.
Why was you so slow down the front straight?
That wasn't him.
That wasn't him. He was loud.
Yeah, that was too.
They didn't get all the way to the inside, or like
Yeah,
they
why
knew
was-
that they would need to be offline.
But he wasn't even under power halfway to the
other.
Well, there's Mark Matthijs.
Yep.
Finishing off there. Hustling around pretty good. Woohoo, Mark. Of course, Mark with Hooked on Driving Northeast. His former co-driver, Cody, and his buddy, Santi. Running the events this week. At Pocono they have right now, right? So they're out there. Ooh, this day is devolving into chilliness. It is getting cold and windy.
Okay, there's a race right, as if we were back in college. You're worthy of your.
We got the Porsche coming around, followed by that Mustang, which clearly has a little bit of an issue here, taking the checkered flag. These are the gentlemen from Minnesota, so we've got Joe Duncan's buddies here. It doesn't sound bad. It just doesn't seem like they have power. I don't know. It might be in, limp home mode.
Well, yeah, you might be right about gas, though.
So they're going to go right back in, right? We're done.
For the morning.
We'll go back. Where's they come in somewhere
So they're going to
else?
come in there, they're going to come in here. So you got to walk the hall all the way.
I'm all familiar with the walk.
You just have to scream like your car the whole way down pit road.
Go Colorado.
Go Colorado. Is that a Colorado thing?
No.
No?
We have a lot of Colorado people here.
There are a lot of Coloradians.
I think Eric's a good recruiter. Yeah.
So what are you doing that you're not recruiting?
I recruit. I do my best. I talk it up. Do my lapping days.
So when was your first year doing this? When did you first make the mistake of getting into this fold?
Eric and I did it in 2011. Yeah, it was horrible. We were terrible. We were the worst pups ever.
I remember you guys, I think it was at No Problem Raceway. I remember you.
It's like, glamping. Yeah, we went and had lunch before the autocross, and we were late getting the autocross, and I'd never done an autocross before, and so I got out on the track and didn't even know what a cone sideways meant. And so
it was when you stopped to pick it up and be like, somebody knocked this over. That should be like that.
I stopped and did this to the corner worker. He's like, go that way. So yeah, we finished in 54th place, I think. But we've been climbing the ladder.
You've come a long way since then. I can't believe.
We bounced kind of off the top 3 and then came back down again.
At least you've done better than Andy Hollis because he just keeps trying, and every year, and just he's given up and just gone to like the Yoda part for grassroots motorsport now.
Literally talked to Andy the night before he went off the track, and he was like, he's so humble. I love Andy. Everybody wanted him to win, and he had it in the bag, and he's like, all I have to do is finish. I have to finish every track. And then he said afterward, he's like, I just had to push it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's why we come back year after year, isn't it?
What is happening on that side?
Drag racing.
Oh, got it. Okay. That sounds fun. I hope we actually get to do it this year. How many years have we not had drag racing?
19 was the last time.
19 was the last one, yep.
Brainerd.
Yep.
Ever since I've had a car that's really good at drag racing.
Basically, we you keep screwing it up for us.
Yeah,
So
it's all my fault.
I can't believe since 2011. My God, I've known you way too long.
It has been a while.
But it's been a pleasure. I'll tell you what, though.
I agree.
One of our favorite people to see every year.
Soul,
It's
man.
Scotty, baby.
And my Brian.
Yep. All right. Well, we're gonna go do some sponsor stuff with Adam here since they're right here.
Sick of talking to me.
I am for now.
Good to see you, buddy.
All righty. We've done the APB for your stuff as well.
Okay.
We have.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Some bastard took it, and we're gonna find him.
It's a, I hope so. I just want my jacket.
Do you need a jacket?
I need a jacket.
He said jacket.
All righty. So, Adam, with HP Tuners, as we were going over the many, many, many things that HP Tuners does, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. We got the car finished up last week. Managed to have a good showing in the wet skid pad, and the autocross went okay. I made a complete mess of the last run, but that happens.
So, have you been here before?
I have. I've been here quite a few times. Everything from a Miata, spec Miata, to an LS swap Miata with HP tuners, as well as a Radical. So I've done quite a few different cars here.
Well, we're looking forward to watching you out on track. The car is beautiful. Your Bridgestone stickers haven't quite held up, but hopefully the tires do. And yeah, we're looking forward to putting on a good show. What has HP Tuners done to this vehicle to get ready for today?
Really, it's all about setup. So we don't support this vehicle directly in terms of tuning, but the other part of HP Tuners is all about the diagnostics. So when I was actually developing this last year, I was able to measure everything from the oil temperature on track, realizing that the thinner OEM oil was just running at like 295 degrees, which is way too hot. And so by introducing a slightly thicker oil, we actually got it down to 255. But just being able to monitor that every single run is absolutely fantastic.
And for an event like this, where if it is climbing up throughout the week and you're not noticing it and you're not paying attention to it, woo, we got some cars. We've got, oh, he made it through. Woo, oh boy. in any event. But if you're not able to monitor, you could wind up like that because you could have a catastrophic failure.
Exactly, and you don't want that. The other benefit is with Track Addict, I'm also able to capture it all with video as well, which just works out. Sounds like you're busy though.
Well, Adam, we'll catch up with you afterwards, but good luck, brother.
Sounds good, thanks, man.
Take care. Woo boy, we have a few cones down. Went a little wide, got into the dirt. He hit a cone and then
Two cones down, we're fine.
there we go. We got Andy Hollis in that alternative fuel Hyundai.
He's so tortured.
Coming around again, trying to avoid the cones this time.
Oh, is Jim to do that?
Oh boy. That was from Nick. The black thing there.
That was what?
That was from Nick.
That was Nick?
The black thing there was from Nick. That's like the bottom of one of the cones, and then the stuff, the black thing over there, I don't know if that's a piece of his under tray or not, but from the Cayman, yeah. Yeah.
Water now. Hey, Brock, what's you waving yellow for? We have a wheel coming off of a car, and it stopped at turn 7.
Apparently have a wheel coming off of a car at turn 7. That's not good.
Hey, Brian, you on radio? Yeah. Everyone need a rollback over. Control, let's finish this group and then go get them, please. We got one car on checker. Take the checker. See that?
We're going to be down for a few minutes.
So apparently we've got a car right now that's out around turn 7 that was in the process of losing a wheel. So we're going to be down for a few minutes. They're going to send out the rollback to retrieve that car. So out of our 24 people watching live, how about tell us where you're watching from? And then if you're watching this later on, be sure to throw in the comments where you're watching this from. So it looks like our next group, once we get running again, is going to be, of course, Adam Spence in the HP Tuners Supra. We got MJ in his Camaro. Got the Toyota PE Motorsports Camry. We'll have David Carr in his Dodge Daytona. And I'm trying to remember who is in the first blue Corvette. But those will be our next group coming up. And I see the safety vehicle over on the far side of the track coming out of the infield over there at turn 7. Like they're getting that disabled car taken care of, and I don't think we should be more than about 5 or so minutes before we go back to live action. Oh, car lost a wheel.
Car lost a wheel. Lost a wheel.
Yep.
Is it related to the cone incident?
Do not know.
There's a good chance.
Possible. Maybe. Don't know.
We don't.
Don't know.
We can assume. We don't have to.
But what happens when you assume, Mark?
Well, you're an ass. I mean, you're buddies. Nice one.
Mine's sharper.
That's kind of cartridge.
I do too.
That's not terrible. Are you live right now?
Yeah, we are live. So Mark and I are comparing knives. What do you got there? Nice old school Kershaw.
Yeah.
Lovely little knife there.
This is so I don't lose my bench weight.
Yeah.
My bench weight.
Well, that's how I feel about my Microtech. I sleep with it at night.
So, one man of the hour.
Yep.
MJ, getting ready to go
MJ in deep thought.
I'm good. I'm ready. We're ready to go, and then we got a little delay here. It is what it is.
This is true.
We've got an interesting run group here with a lightly modified Supra, a very stock Z01, a very modified Camry, and the new 80,000-pound Chrysler.
So MJ, Solomon and I, we always butcher your last name, and I think we do it on purpose for fun. How about you tell the folks out there the correct pronunciation of
It's
your...
like Trierweiler. Trierweiler.
So it's not...
No, but I go by that as well.
So guys, you've heard it from the source. So I will try to remember that, and I will try to educate Solomon.
You're worried about Trierweiler. But you're not worried about my name, mangling my name.
Menenge.
You put an extra N in there for me?
No.
Sound like you put an extra N in it.
Menenge. Menenge.
Then,
You may go mini-gay?
I've heard it every which way there's possible. You're not going to surprise me.
How about marks of putts?
Just call me MJ.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
MJ Mark is easier.
Did I hear somebody shattered a cone down here?
They clipped a couple. So the rollback is, if you can see on the broadcast, the rollback is way over there. And I'm not sure which car it is.
Scrolling down a long way.
I'm not seeing you on here.
I might not have posted it because I just finished like 5 minutes
Oh,
ago.
so your last 5 finished. Okay.
So we got Mark Mattice here scrolling through the live timing to see where he finished.
So it says on run. I don't know what happened, but you're.
Yeah, I'm definitely not on a run. I'm definitely done.
You don't appear to be on a
They
run.
haven't posted it yet.
Okay.
I am so good that I'm still on a run while standing here talking to you and Brian.
Impressed. Very impressed.
See, mine's not even loading.
Oh no. Go to the homepage.
So Scotty's educating Mark on proper use of the
Someone
live
needs to
timing.
Blind leading the blind, and then click there for live timing. There you
You know, the thing that says live time.
Well, I didn't. It's never been there before. It's new, which is really nice.
Well, not. Oh, see, well, yesterday when I clicked on it, it was not.
It didn't work yesterday because they were doing that other timing system yesterday.
Right, which is why I ignored it today.
I think it's specific to their track. So, but yeah. So yeah, it hasn't loaded yet for some reason.
So we definitely have the blind leading the blind here.
Yes. Oh wait, no, I just refreshed it.
So we ought to be just a couple of minutes away from moving to the next run group. Some more of our probably favorite team, the Team Toyota. I don't care about Justin. And I don't want him to get called to HR. So, enjoying yourself so far, even though this is only day 2?
We are very much enjoying ourselves. It's a good time. We love coming to the circus.
So hold that. So how's the car? What changes have you guys made on the car since last year?
The only real change is we just changed the nut behind the wheel.
Is it a secure nut?
We don't know that yet.
Is it a trustworthy nut?
We like to think so.
He's shaking
Is
his
he
head
shaking
no.
his head? I wouldn't trust him either.
Is he friends with Byington? Okay.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
He shook his head yes, so I know he's got a screw loose. Several.
He has lots of friends everywhere.
Yeah,
we'll be seeing him later.
Yes, we are. We enjoy getting our little. We have a group thread of about 12 or 15 people, and he sends us very interesting photos from South Central Los Angeles when he's out there, and it's very funny, and we enjoy those. So, did you guys fare well through the flooding recently there in Kentucky?
Yeah, I mean, my street got closed at one end because there was a creek that came across that flooded over the road. But it was only like half a day or something before the water went back down there.
Okay.
But I don't know anybody that was personally affected.
So nothing catastrophic like what happened at Buffalo Trace?
No. But Buffalo Trace isn't actually that far from Georgetown. It's only like 25 miles or so. So, I mean,
But didn't they uncover some casks of a very special bourbon that they didn't know they had?
it's not what I heard. But, you know, that would probably be a good fundraiser for them for the help with their rebuilding that they need.
Yeah, just send a few more cases of you know what out, and you'll get that money back quick.
That's right.
Well, I think, guys, we're about ready to go for the next run group. So
thank you.
We'll let y'all get prepared. Bye, Justin.
Something sounds off.
I don't think he's got the volume turned up.
It's turned up front.
So we got Grosper going to be leading off the next run group after this run group that's on its side-in lap finishes up. So we got everybody getting lined up at start finish to start this next run group. Like I said, we got Adam Spence in the HP Tuners Toyota Supra. MJ and his Camaro behind. The Camry from Toyota PE Motorsports in Georgetown, Kentucky. And then David Carr coming back after a couple of years absence in that electric Dodge Daytona. We're looking forward to catching up with David sometime during the week and getting him to give us the skinny on that very interesting Dodge as Adam comes through, finishing up his first lap. And it looks like he's already pulled a bit of a gap on Mark John in the Camaro. Comes the Camry, finishing up his first flying lap. And David Carr crossing start finish, beginning his second lap. Adam finishing lap 2, beginning his third and final lap. He is, looks like he's throwing down a pretty respectable time. Here comes MJ. So it's really funny today, you know, we're doing our event here on the Roval. We got youth karting going on right behind us. And then next to us on the drag strip, we've got an NHRA, I think a sportsman's event. And we can hear the PA announcer. And it sounds like they're in a round of qualifying, and a car's parachute deployed at the start line while staging the run. So he's definitely not going anywhere as Adam finishes up his third lap. Even the PA announcer over there on the NHRA side said he has never seen that happen at a drag strip before. Here comes Mark John finishing up his morning session. And just waiting on the Camry and David Carr in his plug-up Daytona. So here comes the Camry to finish out his third lap. And David Carr pulled a bit of a gap out of the Toyota there. So we've got a slew of Corvettes next. Got Grosper and his new Corvette that he just picked up. Named his tag Mr. Jorts. And here's Jim Bob in the Jim Bob Racing Corvette. And now we got Dr. Charles Lovelady. So we're going to see if Solomon might have some more information on the disabled car.
Howdy. So the one car decided to shed most of its studs for the lugs, and it had one holding it on, but doing a very terrible job of it. So we put that car in a rollback and got it back, and so now they're going to have to figure out a solution to keep that tire on and wheel on with more than just one stud and lug nut. Other than that, you know, things are going well.
So I got Grosper taking off. Jim Bob getting his morning session run underway. Doc taking off to begin his first of 3 laps. Here we got Grosper getting ready to come by. Jim Bob finishing up lap number 1, starting his second lap. Here comes Doc in his Camaro finishing up. Grosper down into the infield, starting his final lap. Next, we should have the running on empty Corvette. Yep, here he comes. Jim Bob taking a pretty big chunk out of that gap to the running on empty C8. And now just waiting on Doc to come around to start his final of 3 laps. Now he's coming through turn 4 right now, coming up to start finish. As you could see, as he was coming up to the corner, had his head kind of peeking out, looking through the corner as Grosper comes across start to complete his morning run group. I definitely think he was the class of that group. Pulled a very big gap as the running on empty Corvette has not even come through the exit of turn 4 yet. And now there he is coming up the front stretch and across the line. Jim Bob just a few seconds behind him. And then once we have Doc come across, that'll be the conclusion of this run group. Then we'll have our next run group. Got the BMW estate wagon of Michael DeBreu and Neil Simon. Had to do some late night mending of that vehicle last night and into this morning. We got Tom Freeman in his Supra. We've got the second of the Hart Racing Acuras. And then we've got the first of the Dad Bod Car Mod Lodi, or Lotuses, or Ad Lightness Partial Toyotas, whatever you'd like to call them. And it looks like it's a no-go on the BMW. So apparently that diff repair may not have been good. So they're going to see if they can figure out what's going on with that. They went and picked up a new diff in outside of Chicago last night, and I think they were going to try to repair the old diff, and then if they were unable to, they would switch over to the new diff. So not sure if that is repaired diff or new diff. I'm going to go over here to see if there were, I didn't hear any pieces come out and hit the ground, and I don't see any pieces that may have come out and hit the ground, but they're definitely returning to the paddock area to see if they can fix that issue. And since we haven't talked about it in the last little while, this is the 2025 Tire Rack One Lap of America, presented by Grassroots Motorsports Magazine. And all of our media coverage this week is brought to you by our friends at HP Tuners. We really appreciate them coming on board this year and supporting our media effort to be able to bring you the live streams and all the other silliness through the week. So thank you very much to HP Tuners for joining our effort this year, and we look forward to bringing you guys all the coverage all week long. Here comes Chad and his, as he calls it, the Mercedes grocery getter. Starting his first lap. Here comes Tom finishing his first of 3 laps in his Supra. We got the Acura from Team Hart Racing from their Maryville, Ohio plant. Team Hart is, as we were talking to Justin earlier, all of these Team Hart Racing members are day-to-day employees for Honda, and it is a complete volunteer team. That over the years they've run some very successful IMSA WeatherTech and Michelin Pilot Series teams. One of the drivers of the Acura that Justin is in is Chad Gilsinger, who has been a very, very accomplished road racer for 20 plus years. And Hart's been coming out for several years now, and we really enjoy seeing them. Comes Tom finishing his second flying lap. And the Acura is pulling a little bit out of that gap over these first 2 laps. Comes the little Lotus that could, beginning his 3rd lap. And Chad in the Mercedes. 2 hours. But my co-host has joined us back.
I'm back, and we're wow. We have hit our window for today. We are at the 2-hour mark for the morning session here at former Gateway, right? Worldwide Technology Raceway. It's a mouthful to say, right?
Yes, it is.
So the adventures continue here. You'll be sure to follow along with us for the afternoon. We'll bring you a little bit there before we skedaddle off. But yeah, so thanks for so much. I'm going to try that again. Thanks so much for watching our morning coverage here at Worldwide Technology Center for the first full track day of the 2025 Tire Rack One Lap of America, presented by Grassroots Motorsport Magazine, with coverage brought to you by HP Tuners. Be sure to tune in to us. We should be kicking off again about 1 o'clock, but we've got to hop off, charge our stuff, and do some other stuff. But take care.